Welcome, everyone, to our fourth webinar in our four-part series about an introduction to IQ Panel. My name is Jeremy McLaren, and I run marketing globally for Johnson Controls. And I'm really excited to be here presenting this last and final webinar in this series. This is going to be a lot of fun today, and I really want a lot of audience participation. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what you do and to provide you with some sales tips and tricks and marketing tips and tricks. They're going to be directly related to your ability to implement IQ Panel and PowerG marketing and sales in your company. So before we get started, it's a little bit of housekeeping. First thing is this session is being recorded. So if you want to rewatch it, if you want to share it with somebody who missed it, you just want to remember that one piece or find that one thing that we talked about, you'll be able to watch that recording. We put all of our recordings on our YouTube channel, and you can subscribe to that YouTube channel at youtube.com/Qolsys. I'll put the link in the chat so you can have it. In fact, I'll just do that right now, and hopefully you can find that chat. That's actually one of the things that I want to make sure everyone does, is finds the chat so you can interact with me. Marcin, welcome back. I say Marcin each time, M-A-R-C-I-N. I'm assuming I'm saying that right, but if not, type it in the chat. Let me know how I should say that name properly. And I do appreciate you joining all these webinars, really do. So youtube.com/Qolsys, and I'm going to send that to everyone here. That is the website you can go to on YouTube to be able to subscribe to all these videos. And there's a playlist in there called Webinar Recordings. And if you missed any of the previous three webinars, we did an introduction to IQ Panel. We did two different technical webinars. One was a technical overview, and the other was technical tips and tricks that happened last week. Jeremy Blakeney, our technical account manager for the global region, hosted both of those along with me, and it was a really, really great session. There was lots of audience participation and lots of great questions. So thank you for joining those if you did. And if you didn't, again, you can rewatch those on the YouTube channel. Hi, Jonathan. Welcome. Glad you're here today. The other website I want to do, and you can see it's up on the screen today, and I'm pointing over here as though you can see that my screen is over there, but wherever it is, down there, over there, what I'm sharing right now is our dealer portal, and I'm going to give you the address to that one as well. That's dealers.qolsys.com, and I want everyone to have access to this because this is a really, really great website that's got a lot of great stuff in it, and we're going to spend the majority of our time today talking about that website and what's on there. And if you go to dealers.qolsys.com, you'll be able to see there's a button here called Register. See the little button right there? When you click on that registration button, it provides you with a form you can fill out. Now, this is different from registering to become a dealer on Qolsys.com. This is registering for dealer portal access. So if your company has already become a dealer by filling out the registration form on Qolsys.com, then each individual person would come through here that's in your organization, would come through here and create their own login and password for the dealer portal, and then we would approve it. If you're not already registered as a Qolsys dealer with Johnson Controls, then we are probably going to ask you to do that before we can approve your dealer portal access. But our marketing team, including Kelsey Wing, who manages all of our dealer-specific marketing, will work with you on that. She'll send you the right link. You can fill out the form for the company, and then after that, we'll grant dealer portal access to everyone within your organization. So the goal is for everyone to have their own unique login. One common question I get is, well, can I just have one login and I'll share it with everyone? The drawback with that is there's online training in there and some other things, and you're going to want to be able to track that. If you ever wanted to know if Billy, your technician, did his online training, you'll never know, because if everyone's sharing the login, one person could do all the training and it looks like everyone did the training. So it's really good to have your own individual login. It also helps us if you decide later on that you want to get rid of that employee and don't want them to have access to that content, or that employee leaves and goes to a competitor or things like that. You'll be able to send them an email and say, hey, Billy left, let's go ahead and terminate his login, and we can turn that access off so he doesn't have access to that content anymore. So important for everyone to get their own. And again, that's dealers.qolsys.com, and you'll click on the register button. So I'm going to go back here. We're going to log in here in just a second. But before we do this, I have a few polls I'd like to ask. And again, this is what we do with all of our webinars. The first one is, are you currently a Qolsys customer? And you've got two choices here. The answer is yes or not yet. Now, I'm being a little presumptuous there, and I know that not everyone will be a Qolsys customer someday, but you know what? I can hope. I can hope that you're installing IQ Panel or plan to start installing IQ Panel. And again, part of my hope is that as you look at the product lines we have, the marketing we have to share, the technical support resources we have, the technical support resources that are built into the system and on the panel, that you will absolutely love it and you will say, you know what, this is great. I definitely want to become a Qolsys customer, and then you'll reach out to our sales team. This also helps our sales team know if you're not a current Qolsys customer, that they can reach out to you specifically and work with you to help answer your questions and do personal presentations and things like that, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and close that poll up. And then the next question I'm gonna ask is, which home automation devices do you currently install, okay? Maybe it's, and you can choose all that apply here. Is it lights? Is it locks? Is it thermostats? Maybe it's doorbell cameras, indoor and outdoor cameras. This is gonna be really pertinent to our conversation today, because as you're marketing some of these other features, in addition to security and life safety, you know, there are materials out there, videos and other content that we can bring to you to help you do it. If you're not marketing some of these solutions currently, but you've been interested in doing so, you don't have to start from scratch. And I'll tell you a little bit about my history here in a moment, because I think it's relevant to this conversation. But it's interesting to see the kind of materials that we have to bring to you that will help you be successful, because you are not alone in this effort. We always want you to think of our marketing department as an extension of your own, that we are true partners in this situation. We never want you to feel like you are having to do it all on your own. You know, there's lots and lots of resources and things available to you. I'm going to go ahead and close that poll out, and then I'm going to share the results here just so everyone can see what everyone put in here. So you'll notice 39% of you are saying that you do lights. 39% also say you do locks. 28% are doing thermostats. 56% are doing doorbell cameras, and 89% are doing indoor or outdoor cameras. That's a really good spread. And it's probably very representative of the attach rates of your devices too. If you think about how often you're installing one of these devices for your customers, many people are asking for indoor or outdoor cameras, and that doorbell camera is really creeping up. It's becoming a popular device. I've heard some people say that doorbell camera attach rates are as high as 75% on their customers. So that's pretty awesome. Thermostats are a little trickier, so I can understand that being a little lower than most. And then lights and locks, I wouldn't say are trickier, but it's certainly installing a lock is a larger install. It's one that, you know, a lot of customers are a little nervous about. I will tell you from personal experience, smart locks are a really great gateway to other smart devices. Once you get a smart lock on a door, it really changes the experience for your customer, and they start really wanting others. We call it the smart home gateway drug, unofficially. So kind of fun. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hide those results, and I've got one last question for you. What sales methods do you currently employ? And here's your choices. And again, choose all that apply here. Are you doing things in person, like door to door or by appointment? Are you selling over the phone? Maybe it's inbound calls or outbound calls. Are you doing digital advertising? Maybe it's your website or social media or even email campaigns to everyone. Are you doing any traditional advertising? Radio, billboards, newspaper ads. What's a newspaper? I honestly haven't seen newspaper in years. And, you know, we say newspapers. A lot of times we need those websites that are newspapers, but maybe you still get newspapers. And the fifth and final one is referrals. Are you doing referral marketing? So this was a really interesting one as well, because there are specific materials on the dealer portal that we're going to share with you today that will allow you to do these more effectively. And that as you're going out and doing some phone sales, for example, there's some things we can tell you, hey, use this, use that. Here's how to do it the right way. Here's some things that'll make you successful. So I'm very excited to share with you some of these things. I'm going to go ahead and close that poll, and I want to share with you the results of it as well, which I don't always do. But so which sales methods do you currently use? It looks like 85% are using digital advertising, website, social media, and email. That's incredible, you guys. There's so many people who don't do digital advertising, and it's really awesome to see, you know, so many of you doing that. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you're doing it well, or that you feel like you're doing it well, or that you couldn't do it better. There's always improvements you can make to it. And we're going to talk today about some things you can specifically employ to help you with your digital advertising. Number 2 rank was referrals. I'm really excited to see that. And we're going to talk about some things you can do with referral advertising that will really help up your referral game. And I'll personally share some stories from some of the dealers here in the United States that have been tremendously successful with the referral programs. The third one is in person. Maybe it's a door-to-door or by appointment. 45% of you chose that selection there. There's a lot of great materials there that we can help you build a great digital sales presentation. And literally, you can download the assets off the dealer portal and use them right away. Over the phone is 30%. That's great. Again, there's some great materials on the dealer portal we're going to share with you for that and some good methods. And finally is traditional advertising, only 10%. Honestly, I'm actually really happy to see that that's as low as it is, because I don't think that in today's digital world where people want personal, interaction, I think that advertising is not as effective as some of these other methods. So I've got tremendous high hopes for the UK and how you guys market. So I'm really excited about that. Without any further ado, let's jump right in to the meat of what I want to talk about today. And as a reminder, I want your input. I want you to participate. I want you to talk. Find the chat section or questions section in your GoToWebinar control panel. Type in where you're calling in from. Type in, where are you working from home today, or you were, calling in from your truck, or are you at the office? Would love to hear where you're calling in from, and I want your participation. And as we talk about things, if you've got a story to share or an idea you want to share, put it in the chat. I want to hear about it. So Scott, Jonathan, Marcin, thanks for joining and chatting in. The rest of you, please participate. There's, literally lots and lots of people on the line, and I know many of you are just sitting silently, but we want your participation. We really do. So I'm going to log into the dealer portal here, okay? And the first thing you'll see is our dealer portal homepage. Here on the dealer portal homepage is a quick access to several things, sort of training, technical support documentation, residential marketing, things like that. There's our dealer blog, which has got some great articles on there that you can share or use for your own articles, our latest technical bulletin support and things like that, okay? Now, I want to tell you a story, okay? So when I started in the industry, it was back in 2007, I think it was, 2008. I actually had a career in the call center industry. I was helping with employee retention. I was helping to write scripts. I was helping with leadership development. I was doing a lot of training. I was doing a lot of curriculum development, things like that. And I left a career there because I was enticed to go to a security company and start selling door to door. And I was told, oh, you can make $200,000 in a summer if you work hard enough and you do enough work. And I was like, are you kidding? That's incredible. I'm going to do this. And I thought, with all my experience, with all my, leadership development and script writing and sales, and I had so much, 10, 20 years of that kind of experience. And I thought, I can do this. I could go out and I could really kill it. And I could be one of the top salespeople. And I went to Virginia Beach, Virginia. I moved my family from Utah. My wife was pregnant with our second child. My son was, I think 3 or 4 years old. We moved to Virginia Beach, Virginia. And when I got there, I sold 1 account per day. So the first week I had 6. And that was nice. And it was better than any of their first year people. But I was looking at my numbers and I had to be doing like 4 times that amount to make $200,000 in the summer. And I was like, I'm highly unlikely to get that much better. I need some help. Obviously, I know what I'm doing. I know sales and things like that, but there's something about this particular sale that I'm missing. And this is back in 2007. So we're selling rubber button keypads with just the smallest amount of mobile applications at the time, and barely any like lights, lock, thermostat. So it's really just pure security play. So I go to my manager. I'm like, hey, help me out here. I need some help. I need you to coach me through it. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Listen to what I'm doing. Help me understand how I can be better. And he said, okay, sounds good. I'll come out with you. And his first reaction was, you're doing fine. Don't worry about it. Excuse me. And I was like, I'm not doing fine. There's no way I'm going to hit my goals if I'm only doing 1 a day. I need to be doing 4 a day. Help me get there. And he's like, oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. And I finally convinced him to please come out and go with me. And he goes with me. He said, just for the first hour or two, just watch me. And for the first hour or two, we just literally walked around and knocked on doors, and like almost no one answered. And when we finally got one person to answer the door, he did a presentation, and it was all about, it was like almost like, I don't want to say it was trickery, but it almost felt like he was like trying to like convince them that they were special and that we hadn't been knocking on all the rest of the homes, that we were only knocking on that person's door. And I thought, well, that feels a little dishonest, but maybe that's, that's part of making the customer feel special. Okay. So afterwards, I was like, well, how come you didn't talk about the technology and what it does? How come you didn't talk about, like, the connectivity and like that kind of stuff? And he's like, oh, that's not going to get you sales. And it's like, okay, well, why don't you watch me? Because this is what I was doing, and I'd like to hear what you do, because I was really talking about the technology. You're going to love this smartphone app, and you build it remotely, arm and disarm, and, think of all the safety you're going to get and things like that. He's like, yeah, I don't have time. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, the goal was to have you watch me. And he refused. He would not go. He was more interested in going out and selling on his own and getting his own sales that day than helping me. And it was really disappointing. And my sales went down significantly. I kept trying to change things in an effort to try and get better and better. And I had no one to guide me. I was really frustrated and really disappointed. And so by the end of the summer, I think I had 78 sales for the summer. It was at a 4-month period, which is still good, but not near the amount of sales that I needed to get in order to make the money that I was hoping to make. And I remember going to the company at the very end of the summer and saying, this was not a great experience for me. Your training program is, awful. The way that your sales techniques are, it just doesn't work for me. And I'm assuming that there's others that are having the same experience. And they said, well, you've got a lot of training experience. We're looking for a new training manager. Would you be willing to do it? And I said, sure. So I became the new training manager for that company. And when I went, and the first thing I did is I went to GE Security, which isn't even in business anymore. They were called Interlogics for a while there. Now they're out of business. But I went to them and I said, hey, I'm now in charge of training. I want to build this really great experience. Instead of these people using this other sales technique, I want to talk about like how awesome the product is. I want to talk about what you can do with it, the connectivity, all the different devices you can bring into it. Give me all your videos. Give me your commercials. Give me your photography. I want to build a great sales experience, and a great training experience for our company. You know what they sent me? It was pitiful. It was absolutely embarrassing. We're talking GE, right? One of the largest companies in the world. I have a bunch of their appliances in my home. I know they're a big company. They sent me a single spec sheet. Single sheet. It had a picture of the panel on the top and a bunch of technical specifications down the side. They're like, this is all we have. Are you kidding? That's all I get? No commercials, no world-class photography, none of this? I was super disappointed. And so myself and Jared Nielsen, who helped to run marketing there, said, you know what? We're not going to wait for them. We're going to build our own stuff. And so we started doing film shoots and photo shoots. We started building digital sales presentations and doing all sorts of stuff. And that next summer, we deployed our sales team with iPads. They just barely come out, the year they just barely come out. We deployed them with the first generation iPad loaded up with images and digital sales slicks and things like that. Our company sold 105,000 accounts that summer. 105,000. Because we did better training. We trained on the devices. We trained on the products. We trained on the technology. We taught people how to talk about this technology in a way that got people excited. And so when you showed up as a sales rep for that company with your tablet and said, hey, I want to show you the cool stuff you can do, and started swiping through and showing videos, here, watch this video, things like that, people were like, oh, come inside, let's talk about this. We were perceived as a technology company at that point. Which before it was like a piece of paper. I'm like shuffling papers and we're like, well, here, let me show you, like this product here is really nice and you'll like this product. And, it just didn't seem professional. But when you showed up with a tablet and you're like, oh, let me show you this. And we're like swiping through and showing those things off. It looked really cool and people loved it. And it didn't hurt that iPad had just barely come out. There was a lot of people who wanted to see it. But we did tremendously well. And when I joined Qolsys back in 2012, 2013, one of the goals I had was to make my dealers, you guys, not have to have the same pain I did. I didn't want you to have to suffer through asking me, hey, can I get your latest video? And me to say, well, I got a spec sheet I can send you. That's not fun. That's not helpful. If you want a video to put on your website, you need a great video. So we built tons of stuff, and it's all housed right here on the dealer portal. So I want to dive into some of this stuff right now and share with you some of the things we've built to help you out, and we're going to talk about how and where you might use them. So the first one you see here is the training tab, and you'll see there's 3 different training courses: sales training, technical training, and device training. My recommendation is every installer should take all 3 of those courses. Okay, they're not terribly difficult. If you look at the sales training course, for example, and these are great for brand new employees as well. The first one is how security systems work. You get a brand new technician who's never done this job before, or a brand new salesperson who's never done this job before, you can actually walk them through how to do this, how security systems work, an overview of devices. And then we go through all the different devices and features, of the product line in here. Scott Andrews just typed in the chat, I've done these courses. Scott, what'd you think of the courses? Good, bad, indifferent? We'd love to hear it. Put your comments in the chat. So the second course is technical training. The technical training is everything your technician needs to know to do everything effectively. How to, do the hardware, how to do the software, how to install sensors in Z-Wave, programming fields, system tests, things like that. So as they go through the technical training, there'll be a short video, call it 5 to 10 minutes long, and then a series of questions that, test their knowledge to prove that they did it well. So Scott says it was good, simple to understand, makes a lot of sense. Great, appreciate the feedback. The third course is device training, and this was specifically for devices so that you can help people understand the basics of a particular device. What a sensor does, what a motion sensor does, what a glass break detector does. And these are designed to be super short. Generally speaking, they're about 30 seconds long, sometimes no longer than like 2 minutes. And that's for like the panel one. But very short, very easy. And these were even designed, and there's a YouTube playlist for them. You can see, like, I think it's called Device Training on our YouTube channel. You can actually use these as part of your digital sales presentation. So you can load them up on your iPad or play them on your iPad or your other tablet and say, hey, let me show you about the smoke detector, and play them a 30-second video. And at the end, hopefully the customer's like, that's really cool. I think I'll take it. Okay, sounds good. Let me write it down, and we'll add that to your order today. Okay, so great informational training for you, but also great as content that you could use as you're going out and selling. And again, all of it's available on the dealer portal and on our YouTube page. So those are the 3 training things. And my recommendation is every employee gets their own login and gets access to the training and does all the training. Now, if you've got a sales and marketing employee, I don't know that you necessarily need them to do the technical training. I think that might be a little above their head, but definitely have them at least do the sales training and the device training. Okay. If there's any questions about training, please put them in the chat. Otherwise, let's move on to downloads. And there's lots and lots of great downloads here. So you can see here, there's residential downloads, commercial downloads, builder downloads, technical downloads, and software downloads. Now, this sales team downloads, that's not for you guys. That's for our sales team, have specific materials as they go out and support you guys. So ignore that one. But these other ones are all for you guys. I'm going to start with residential downloads. Okay. So in residential downloads, there are different sections. The first one is presentation materials. So those of you that said, hey, I am, again, let's look at our results here. Okay. I am doing in-person, door-to-door, or by appointment. This material is for you. Okay. If you are doing referral-based advertising, which chances are you're probably going to be, at least some percentage of those, you'll also be doing in-person or door-to-door, then these are also for you as well. Okay. So I'm going to hide those results again. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is you want to do a search in the App Store or in the Google Play Store for IQ Panel. Okay. When you do, you are going to find an iOS app or an Android app. Now, if you log in from the dealer portal from your phone, you'll be able to click on the icon here that says iOS app or Android app, and it will take you directly to that link. This is an emulator of the panel, and I'm going to show you on my phone. I don't know how well it's going to show on the camera, but I'll try what this does. Okay, well, apparently my phone decided to store it and not actually have it because I haven't opened it in a month. So it's installing right now, okay? But when you download that, it literally emulates the panel experience completely. So you can swipe through pages, you can touch things, you can press on a video and it plays it. It's a really, really great experience. In fact, the desktop emulator is the same one. So let's say you've got someone doing sales over the phone. Maybe they're going to do things by Zoom or share their materials. You could do the same thing here with the desktop emulator, and I'll just open this link in a new tab so we can see it. And you can see here, loading. Okay, so you can see here, you've got this great panel, looks like a panel. I can check the weather. Okay, I can swipe away. I could pretend to arm the system and show someone exactly how to arm it. Okay, now it's armed stay. I could disarm it. 1, 2, 3, 4. System disarmed. I can swipe to different pages and I can scroll up and down between the different lights. I could, turn a porch light on, off and on, things like that. I could lock and unlock a door. I can swipe up and see different door locks. I can check the thermostat. it's a great way to emulate the panel's experience. And this one is on the web, but the other one is for the phone. So whether you're doing phone sales, and saying, hey, I want you to go to this website and play along with me, or I'm going to share my screen and do it. It's a great way to do phone sales. Or you're doing in-person sales and you want to pull this up on your tablet, pull up the app on your tablet. It's a great way to emulate the panel's experience and say, look how simple it is. Remember, if you joined our first webinar in this series, the IQ Panel Intro, one of the things we wanted to talk about was how important it was to have looks matter, the looks and the appearance of the system be a key function or a key feature that you're sharing with your customers. And as you share how great and easy the system is to use, that looks matter thing comes into play and customers get very excited about it, okay? So that's the emulator. The other one is Sales Slicks, okay? And I'm going to open this one in a new tab as well. This one's a bigger file because there's about 40 different pages of content here. We talked about, again, being a door-to-door in-person salesperson, having things loaded up on your iPad. Well, by loading these up on your iPad, you can literally swipe through, a different pages about anything. And that's a PDF. So if you took that PDF and you said, well, I want to delete out page 4 and page 7 and page 20 and pages 14 through 15, I don't need any of those, then you'll have your presentation perfect. There's even some cases where you might say, you know what, these are great, but I want my company logo on them. All you have to do is send an email to marketing@qolsys.com. And I'm going to put that email address right in the chat today. marketing@qolsys.com. Okay. And as you send that email, my marketing team, the dealer marketing team, Kelsey, that I mentioned earlier, is going to get that email. If you include your logo and say, hey, here's my logo, can I get my logo on these sales slicks? She'll put it on there and send you the file back for free. No charge, easy to do it, and usually we have it back within a week, if not sooner. So you want customized sales slicks? We can do that for you. Again, another part of the great service. So I'm gonna show you these sales slicks. I'm gonna shrink this down a little bit so you can see the full page. Here's one that's all about the panel. Okay, maybe you want to show it off. Oh yeah, you're gonna love using this solution. Look here, it's got a panel camera. We've got Bluetooth disarming, face recognition. There's a photo frame. The Z-Wave. So you can talk through the things that it has there. Okay. We've also got, oh, here's the IQ Panel 2 Plus, and look how beautiful it is. You could talk maybe about a couple of features on there. Here is PowerG technology, and here's an example of the sensor and why PowerG is so great. 4 partitions. Maybe you're talking to a commercial business and you want to have a commercial set of these slicks, things like that. So there's literally live view, live answer with a video doorbell, face recognition, looks matter. There's just a huge variety of sales slicks in there. Now, some of you, and again, let's go back to our polls. Some of you are saying you're doing digital advertising on your website, social media, and email. In fact, most of you are, right? I want you to be thinking, if I'm doing digital advertising, wouldn't this be great on my website? Wouldn't this image be great for a social media post? Could I just screenshot this and post it on there? Could I take that PDF and post it on Facebook, post it on LinkedIn, post it on, wherever it is, you're advertising, Instagram, etc.? Absolutely. Maybe you only want this one picture. Well, we'll show you where you can download those. So from a digital advertising standpoint, lots and lots of great content here. So, whether you're in person swiping through the pages, you're on the phone and want to email this document to a customer or email them an image of this because it's relevant, okay? Or you are in a digital space where you want to post that out in various places or email it out to various places. Lots of great content here, okay? Features, benefits, appearances, awards, product lines, lots and lots. And I'll just kind of quickly scroll through this so you can see door window sensors and just, lots and lots and lots and lots of great stuff. So play around with those yourself. So that is the sales slicks. You definitely want to play around with those and enjoy those. The next one is the product flyer. And again, for you people that they're going door to door or, responding to referral and setting an appointment and meeting with a customer face to face, imagine taking the product flyer and saying, hey, you know what? I want to show you, all of our product line. Okay. Let's talk about what it is. Think of it as like a menu in a restaurant. Let's talk about what you need. Let's talk about what each of these devices does and, point out as we're walking around. Imagine walking around with this flyer and saying, oh, well, over here, I'd recommend you have this product. And this is what it does. And you could even then pull up a video to show. And let me show you the video about how that works. Okay, and let's walk through the house again some more. And Well, over here, I'm going to recommend a motion sensor. Okay. And here, that's this product right here on this thing. And you may be, here's the 360-degree mount PIR Power G detector. I recommend that right here in the middle of the room, right here. That's going to detect motion all around. And let me show you a quick video about that. And then you can pull up the video and show them that if it's appropriate. So really great way to juxtapose that walkthrough with the materials and all this. And again, if you want these customized, we'll put your logo in the top corner of this. We'll put it down somewhere else. If you say, hey, by the way, our company's decided we don't want to sell this pendant or that motion sensor, things like that, we'll make you a version of this that doesn't have those on. We'll just take them off real quick, send you the version, and voila, you've got yourself a new flyer. So really, really awesome stuff that will hopefully be successful for you. Now, we've got a great question from Steve. Is this product flyer showing products available in the UK marketplace? Are these products available in the UK? Really great question, Steve, because some of these products are North America-based products, and a lot of this, everything here on the dealer portal was originally built for North America. We are getting ready to publish a UK downloads section, and our marketing manager over the United Kingdom is working with our team to create a special UK download section where you'll be able to get the items that have been specifically tailored and tooled for your particular scenario, the products that are only available in the United Kingdom and things like that. So, and Scott says UK downloads would be brilliant. Nice one. Yeah, and that's the goal, is to make things more and more specific to you. But in the meantime, I don't want you to feel like if you go look on the UK downloads page when we publish that, and there's not something on here that you like, then let's talk about it. Let's say, oh, I really love this wellness flyer. I want to be able to do this here in the UK, but it's not available in the UK downloads place. Can I get this? And let's just make sure that we make the appropriate tweaks to make it applicable to my market. Absolutely, we can. James says, a quote builder would be cool if we could add prices to the devices and select from a drop-down list for the customer so they can add devices and see the cost straight away. It's something we've talked about. And the challenging part is we can't put in your prices, what you charge, because you guys decide that. And so we'd have to make it so that it's also flexible enough that you could then edit and add your own prices. But it is something on our radar. And I'm planning on and trying to put together the structure of what we call a sales app that you could download to your phone and then use to go out and sell in any number of scenarios. So it's a lot of work, and we're right now in the planning phases for that and building that out. But I totally agree, James. I think it's a brilliant idea, and I think it's going to be something that will help you guys a lot. So thank you for mentioning it. So we got sales slips, we got product flyers, we got emulators. There's a number of different flyers in here, residential flyers, wellness, multifamily, things like that. Now, some of you, again, I'm going to go back to my poll, okay, and share these results. Some of you said that you're doing over-the-phone advertising, 30% of you. Some of you might be thinking, well, I do over-the-phone advertising, but, it's, or don't do over-the-phone advertising, but I wouldn't mind starting or trying. Maybe that's in response to, someone going to your website or going to social media. Call this phone number and do it. Well, you don't have to start from scratch. We've got a lot of scripting. I've got features and benefits scripting here. We've got outbound sales phone scripting. We've got inbound sales phone scripting, okay? In-person sales phone scripting. So if you're going to be doing, door-to-door sales or referral-based selling or things like that, there's a script for you as well. And then for our distributors, we've got some scripting for them as well for distribution stuff. So you can certainly look at some of those, but some great scripting options here. Now, I'm not going to presume that when I write a script and publish it, that you're going to take that script and just go verbatim on it. I don't think that's smart, because your personality is different than mine. Your way of selling is different than mine. Your features and benefits that you might want to emphasize are different than mine. This is a starting point for you. I don't want you to start from scratch. I don't want you to start, what should I say? How should I start it out? Take my script, make it your own. Copy and paste it. And that applies to anything here. If you say, you know what, this wellness flyer is pretty, but I could do so much better, and this doesn't fit our company look and feel, take the content from this, copy and paste it, and put it into what you want to do. If you want to build something completely separate, we have no problem with that. You have permission to take anything you want from this website and use it for yourself for whatever purposes you need to be successful. And if you want our help, email marketing@qolsys.com, and we would love to see what we can do to help you. I can't promise we can do everything you can imagine. The idea that James just shared about, having a quote builder or a mobile sales app would be awesome. But we'll try. And, if there's something we can do or something we've got in our private libraries, maybe we did for another customer, in another part of the world, we'd be happy to share what we've got with you. The goal, again, is to partner with you and help you increase your sales, no matter what type of scenario you're going into. Let's keep going because there's lots here. Residential banners, okay? This is a banner you can print out and go take to your printer and, say, hey, I want to put this up because I'm going to a home show. I'm going to, an event of some sort. Maybe I'm going to a fair or something like that, as if those even happen any day anymore. But imagine it did. Well, we've got some banners and flyers and displays. There's wall graphics, door hangers. This is a great one. We had a customer have us make this for them because they said, when we go and we do an install, we take door hangers and we get everyone else on the street, and it basically just say, well, you can see the wording here. Your neighbor's home just got smarter. Give us a call, and we're going to help you get it smarter too. Okay, can take a second to load. Come on, files. They're big files because they're print worthy. So your neighbor's home just got safer, and smarter. And then it's got a place for your business card, and it shows off some of the features and things like that. So great little door hanger. A little place for you to cut the circle, and you could go put those on every single door in the neighborhood. And hopefully, even if it only costs you, call it 15 cents or, I don't know what the equivalent of 15 cents is. We'll just go Christmas. If it only costs you a hay penny to print one of these out, then you can take this and put it out there. And if it gets you even one sale, that's great. So some great materials here. Let's keep going. Lots and lots to cover. Wall graphics, flyers, product placards. These are great for model homes. This IQ panel photo frame images. Imagine these, I don't know if I can click on them because it's going to download them. These are the images that play on the panel's photo frame. So it has things like, Bluetooth disarming is awesome. Or, add a camera today so you can be able to see it on screen, things like that. You can download these as ideas. They also make great social media posts. But if you wanted to load them onto the panels before you install them, or right after you install them, then your panel turns into a digital billboard inside the home and will hopefully generate some more interest and excitement. So Ted says, we are using door hangers in Sweden right now. That's great, Ted. Are they successful? For every 10 door hangers you put out, are you getting, a phone call? How many door hangers, does it take 100 door hangers to get a phone call, or a click on your website? What kind of success are you seeing with door hangers? I'd love to hear it and share that with the rest. Now, let's talk about video. There is a lot of video content on here, you guys. We'll get to your question in just a second, James. Thanks for asking it. So there's a lot of video content on here. You'll see that there's multiple generic commercials. This kind of shows the whole solution. A full commercial that is about 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes long. This one's 2 minutes long. This was an overview of the panel. This one's mom coming home. It shows off Bluetooth touch and disarming. This is a video we used at an event last year. It's a great little, advertisement of all the entire solution. It's a great video for the end users. Lots and lots of video animations. I want to show you one of these, for example, okay? So these are quick little videos. This one's just about the panel camera, and it's only a minute long, okay? And it basically says, hey, a lot of people access your home. Imagine, again, using this for social media, using this on your tablet in a presentation, sending this to a customer while you're talking to them on the phone and saying, hey, we are, I want to show you this video to you, okay? You never know truly who's coming and going. You need to raise your IQ, okay? Every panel includes a 5-megapixel camera, and you assign unique codes to each person. And when they use it, and you can see who and you can see when. And there's a little, music here that stops and has like a record stop, and you can say, hey, who's that with my daughter? Imagine being able to see that and know that. That's pretty awesome. Get pictures by text, know who's coming and going. That's a great use for disarm photos. And hopefully, when your customer sees that, they go, oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I want that. And then you could show them the Bluetooth disarming video, and you could show them, the video about Z-Wave Plus or Live Answer or Power G or geofencing. Now, I am getting a question here about geofencing, so I'm glad we're talking about geofencing here. James asked, off the subject, sorry about this, but how many phones can have geofencing? Unlimited. To my knowledge, there is no limit on the number of phones you can add an alarm to your alarm.com account. So if you want to have, if you've got, 10 people living in your home and they've all got smartphones, you can add geofencing for all of them. And so then you can get an alert when they leave. My wife and I both have the geofencing function on our phones. My son has an iPhone, and so does my daughter. And we've got the geofencing set up for all their devices. So the thermostat will automatically turn off if all 4 devices leave home. Okay? That means that if I leave home with my phone and the geofence detects that I've left, but it sees that my wife is still within the geofence, it says, well, don't adjust the thermostat. If my wife and I go on a date and both of our phones leave the geofence, okay, but our kids are still home, it's not going to turn off the thermostat, okay? But if we all decide to go out for a family outing together and we're all gone together, maybe go out to dinner or we're going on a trip or whatever, like we go on trips anymore, and we're all gone together, then it says, hey, all 4 smartphones have left, therefore turn off the thermostat, and it turns down turns that down there. So pretty cool stuff. So that's videos. There's lots and lots of videos. There's videos about devices, and we shared with you some of those videos that were on the training. Here's even more videos. And imagine, again, loading these up on YouTube or your YouTube channel, loading them up on your tablets as part of your sales presentation. Imagine being on the phone and sharing a video with a customer. Well, while I'm here with you, sir, let me just send you a link to a video. Do you want me to text that to you, or do you want me to email it to you? Okay, I'll email it to you. Okay, click on that link in your email. Watch that video. It's only 30 seconds long, so it won't be much. Okay, you see that? Isn't that interesting? Yeah, well, let's talk about this. Let me show how this is going to affect you, or how it's going to apply for your situation, Mr. Customer. And you can talk them through it. Okay, maybe you've got a customer who's wants to refer someone, and they're like, okay, well, I want to send them, as part of the referral, I want to send them this 2-minute commercial. Okay, and every time you refer a friend, you're going to get a little bonus. So send this commercial out to people. Okay, send this commercial out and tell them to call me or to contact me when they're interested. Imagine if you get every single customer to place your videos on their Facebook page or their, Instagram feed or things like that. There can be some awesome things. Okay, so let's go to some of our questions here, and then we're going to continue on. So Ted mentions, remember we asked Ted about his experience with the door hangers. He said, we've only been doing it for a couple weeks, but the salespeople are confident and getting easier to knock on the door as they read the door hanger. Okay, that's good feedback. Keep on going. Scott says, one thing I'd like to see for the UK market with videos is referring to 4G rather than LTE. LTE is a term we really use over here. Scott, that is fantastic feedback. I'm really glad you shared that. LTE is a term, long-term evolution, and is basically representative of the technology that 4G, 5G, 6G, and things like that are all forms of LTE. And if that term LTE doesn't resonate in the UK, then we can absolutely change that in some of our marketing. So that's great feedback. Thank you for that. Steve wants to know, what is the geofence radius, or is this programmable to suit the size of the home? Really great question, and a good question for alarm.com, because this is the geofence is an alarm.com feature, but you can do a minimum of a 1 mile radius, okay, and there's no maximum. So I'll give you an example. I had 2 geofences for a short while. I was playing around with different geofences. I had a 1 mile radius and a 5 mile radius around my home, and I had a 1 mile radius around my work. Okay, so I set a rule that said, when I leave home, check the 1 mile radius geofence and turn off my thermostat when I leave. Okay, when I leave work, okay, then I want to turn the thermostat back on, so that by the time I got home, it was warm. But what I was realizing when I did that is that I was wasting a lot of energy, because in my commute home, the thermostat was on and it was going for a while. And so that's why I created the 5 mile geofence. So I had the 1 mile and the 5 mile. So then I said, instead of when I leave home at the 1 mile, when I enter the 5 miles, so I'm 5 miles away from my house, then turn the thermostat back on again. So now with, my kids are older, there's almost always some home, we're not using those geofence services as much. We use the one that says when we leave, do that. I also all the time use the one where it says when we leave the geofence, if we haven't armed the system, let me know. And I do that just for my phone, because even if I've left and my family's home alone, my wife and my children are home by themselves, I always want to arm that in stay mode for them. So if I've forgotten to do that, I use that. So you can set up lots of different rules with geofence. It's really, really cool. And it's something that as you log into the alarm.com account with the customer and help them understand how to use that, they'll determine their own features. They'll determine their own things, whether that's a reminder that you didn't lock the door, a reminder you didn't close the garage, a reminder you didn't, disarm this or didn't arm the system. or simply automating the thermostat or a certain set of lights to turn on or off to save energy. There's a lot of really cool things you can do with geofencing. And then as a reminder from our first webinar, when we talked about Bluetooth touchless disarming, the ability to come home at, so geofence reminds you that you didn't arm the system. Well, when you come home, as you walk home, the Bluetooth connection between your smartphone and the panel will automatically connect and disarm your system. So now, instead of it disarming a mile away from the house, you can say, hey, I want it to disarm right when I get up to my front door. And you can see in the video, they just, right as they walk up to the front porch, it disarms, then the front door unlocks, and they can walk right in the house. So it's a really cool thing. And you can illustrate this with this video, share it with your customers on Facebook, share it with your customers over email if you're talking to them on the phone, have your customers go to your website and watch that video from your website if you're talking to them on the phone, show it to them on your tablet while you're talking to them in their home or on the porch, things like that. So again, lots of great content here that will really help you market yourself very successfully. Now, we mentioned website, and 85% of you are saying that you're doing digital stuff, which I'm assuming also means websites. And let's talk about websites, okay? There's some sales documentation. As you go past sales documentation, you can see there's email and social media content and website assets. This one is the one I want to make sure you pay attention to, because there are many of you that have websites that are, well, I'm not going to mince words here. Your websites can be crap. Now, some of you have great websites, but I've seen some websites in the UK that are just complete crap. And no offense to you, you probably made them years ago and it needs to be updated. Well, I don't want you to feel like you have to do it on your own, okay? We're here to help. So when you get your web guy, web girl, whoever it is that's going to help make your website for you, and maybe it's you, but I'm assuming that you're going to contract it out, or you've got someone in your employee that's going to do this for you. What you can do is get them access to this and say, here's the website assets. Here's images of the IQ panel. Here are images of security sensors. Here's icons. Here's lifestyle devices. Here's fonts and branding guidelines, logos, all sorts of stuff. This is a veritable goldmine for them. And if they can use these images to update your website with new pictures, new images, show off how beautiful the panel is, show off how amazing the video doorbell can be, things like that. And then add in and embed the videos we've been talking about into your site and at various places with the devices or on your homepage or things like that. Imagine how much better your website's going to be when it's full of great video content and full of great image content. And you get this all for the low price of $0, £0, no hay pennies. It is all free to you to use as much or as little as you choose. Again, the whole point is to support you as you go out and you market this new product line. And if you want additional help or you just want some advice, send an email to marketing@qolsys.com. My marketing team will set up an appointment with you, and they'll sit down with you and say, let's look at your website. Let's talk about it. Here's our suggestions. Now, I've got a big asterisk here, okay? The big asterisk I want to add to this is we can't do everything for you, okay? We're going to give you the materials, but we don't have access to change your website, just like you don't have access to change Google's website or Apple's website or anybody else's website. You couldn't make changes to Qolsys.com if you wanted to. I can't make changes to your website. So we can't do it for you, but we can give you everything you need. We're going to hand you all the images you need, all the video you need, all the text and content you need. We're going to hand it all to you so that you can then go out and implement it the way you want to, okay? And you can use us as consultants. Hey, what should I put here? What's going to work here? What do you suggest for there? We can help you with that. As you interact with us, as you work with us, our marketing teams and our sales teams will help you build that up into an amazing experience for your customers, no matter what they are, okay? Narcissus asked a great question. Regarding monitoring station connection through alarm.com and LTE, can you explain if it's based on SIA or contact ID protocols, or is it a proprietary communication protocol? I can't. I don't know about the magic of it. I know that when you create the alarm.com account, I know there's something, contact ID sounds familiar, but I'm in marketing and I am not technical enough to answer that question. But it's a good question, and I will pass this along to our our technical team, and we'll get an answer for you, and we'll email you back or have one of our sales team or technical teams reach out to you and walk you through it. So I apologize, I don't know it. I just know that when you create the alarm.com account, everything else works and it all just flows together the right way. So hopefully that answers your question a little bit at least. I apologize, I'm not more knowledgeable on that. I wanted to talk about referrals because many of you, and again, I want to share the results of our poll again, 60% of you are saying, 60% of you are saying that you do business using referrals, okay? Well, that's great. I think it's absolutely great. And let's talk about referral programs. In fact, why don't you put in the chat for me, what kind of referral programs you do? Do you do, or I guess not referral programs, but what's your incentive for referrals? Do you ask people to refer a friend and you're going to give them a free month of service? Do you give them a Visa gift card? Do you give them a product? What's your incentive for referrals? And I'll share with you some of the ones while you guys are typing that into the chat. I'll share with you some of the referral programs that I've seen that are, here in the United States and which have been effective and which have not, okay? One referral program I saw was where someone said, when you sign up, when you refer a friend, you will get a free month of service. Here's the problem with that. If you're like us in the United States and you bill the customer automatically each month, if I'm your end user and I referred my friend and they bought a system, I don't know when that happened, okay? And therefore, I don't know when I should expect you not to automatically take my monthly fee out of my account. Does that make sense? So if you're automatically withdrawing or automatically charging my credit card each month, call it $40, 40 pounds, and you are automatically charging that to me, it's highly unlikely that I am checking my bank account every day. Any day now, that $40 credit's going to be in there. Oh no, they didn't charge it today. But they didn't charge it today because it's an error, or do they not charge me on the normal day because maybe it's a weekend and they do it on a different day? Is it still going to be charged? I'm not sure. Maybe I'll check back tomorrow. I'll check back tomorrow and see if they didn't charge me my $40. No one does that. And even if they did, it's not like they're like, honey, they didn't charge us our bill this month. Let's go out to dinner. Come on, let's go out to dinner. We got $40 extra. Let's go out to dinner. Woo! No one does that. You know what? Honestly, probably no one cares. And to be like, oh, you give me a free month of service? Oh, that's nice. Thanks. I appreciate it. Sure. That's super. Yeah, it's great. It's something, I don't think people are excited about it. Okay. So let me share one that did actually work really, really well. So, and again, there's another one that was more effective, but still not quite as effective. I've got another company that was saying, we're going to send them a $100 Amazon card. It's a gift card for Amazon. And I said, okay, so you're going to basically convince that you're going to spend money with Amazon and convince them to spend money with Amazon. Great. So what happens, me, the end user, I referred my friend and I get in the mail $100 Amazon card. Oh, cool. Well, let me see. I'm going to go to my Amazon wish list and maybe get something. Maybe I'm going to buy something for a friend or things like that. I put the gift card into my account. I buy the things I want to buy. And maybe let's say that I bought this lovely roll of tape, okay? I'm taping up boxes for Christmas to send out to my brother because we're not going to be together this holiday season. So maybe I buy this lovely roll of tape. It's not like every time I use some tape, you know what? Oh, I got this tape because ABC Security gave me a bonus for referring a friend. This is like bonus tape. I'm so excited to tape this on my box today. Man, ABC Security, I love you. You guys are awesome. It doesn't happen. And if you think it's happening, you're deluding yourself, okay? Here's my suggestion to you, and we've seen it happen really, really successfully. First off, let's give them something they're actually going to use, actually going to, that's going to promote stuff. So imagine instead of your 3 month of service or your $100 credit or things like that, I want you to imagine instead saying a free device. In fact, those of you who are selling door to door or in person or even over the phone, you all know that there have been times when you are selling a device and you're saying, oh, you're going to love this smart thermostat. It's really cool. In fact, again, our poll numbers were showing that not all of you were selling a lot of thermostats, but imagine you pushing that thermostat. You're going to love this thermostat. It's super smart, super cool, and you're really going to like it. And the customer's like, it's cool. I really like it. I just don't know if I can spend that much money right now. So I think I'll hold off. Okay, sure, no problem. Guess what? If the customer was interested in that and wanted it, that is a fantastic incentive. What if while you are, and remember we go back to our menu here, right? What if you're talking to the customer about all these awesome devices and the customer's like, man, I really want that smart light bulb, or I really want that smart plug, or that, that extra, water device, the flood detector underneath my sink. I really want it, but I just can't spend the money right now. Okay. If I'm you and I'm in your shoes, the very first thing I'm going to do, a month or two later is say, tell you what, you refer a friend, I'll give you that smart flood detector for free. They already wanted it. They already expressed they wanted it. They know the value of it. You did a good job selling it. So if you're going to do that, okay, why not give them something they actually want? Then they think in their mind, gosh, that was easy. I referred my friend who really was going to get one anyway, and I got that free device. I wonder what other devices I can get, okay? You were saying, many of you, in fact, again, let's share these results of the home automation devices, okay, that, 56% of you are selling doorbell cameras. Well, if that's the case, okay, if 56% of you are selling doorbell cameras, what about the rest of that percentage? Would the rest of that percentage be more likely to sell or to take a doorbell camera for free if you offered it as an incentive as part of your, referral program? Maybe, maybe not. I had another customer down in Florida in the United States who went out to their customers, and every month they published a list. These are the items that you can get this month for referring a friend. Refer a friend, and you can choose anything, one of the items off this list. And they said that they got about 50% of the time when they sent that out of the calls that came back to them afterwards, talking about those devices, 50% of the time people were actually calling to buy that device instead of actually just referring a friend. He said they got a lot of referrals, which is great, but a lot of times it just created awareness that those devices even existed. If you think about it, many customers, and we've said this before on some of the other webinars we've done, some of the other webinars in the series, those customers are ready for a new device every 3 to 6 months. And if all you're doing is creating awareness about your devices, you might just sell more devices. And if they can get that device for free because you're offering it as an incentive for referral, then you're going to get a whole other sale. Either way, you don't win. So some great comments in here. James says, I give out merch to every new customer and it goes down well. That's great. What kind of merch are you doing? Are you doing like hats, t-shirts, things like that? My father-in-law bought a brand new air conditioner and, it was years ago, and got a t-shirt. He wore that freaking t-shirt with pride. And every time he put that t-shirt on, he remembered, that's the t-shirt I got when I bought that air conditioner and I got a great deal on it. And it reminded him. So I encourage you, as you're thinking about your referral program, think about things you can do to increase value in your company, value in your services, and device attach rates and usage. If you just throw in months of service, it might not do it. If you just throw in, a gift card of some sort, you don't do it. Rob says they don't need an air conditioner in Ireland. Yeah, that's probably true. But there's a lot of really great possibilities here. And hopefully this dealer portal that we've been sharing with you today gives you some ideas, gives you some things you can do. Now, we've only covered residential downloads. There's commercial downloads, and you can see these materials in here are specifically geared towards commercial scenarios. Here's a video about commercial. Here are small, videos about using, these features in small business type scenarios, things like that. There's documentation and flyers and marketing materials in here that are all geared towards commercial. So there's a lot, commercial image pack. So if you're making the commercial page on your website, download this commercial image pack from the commercial section. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do. And, in here, there's builder downloads. If you're working directly with builders, there's a lot of great content in here specifically for, builders being able to, download the model home plans or, flyers or FAQs, recommended devices for, builder smart home, placards to go around the model home, trim ads to go around the panel when you install it in the model home, presentations you can give to the builder to convince them to do it. So lots and lots of stuff in here. And of course, there's technical downloads and software downloads as well. So as you want to get your technical teams involved, and they need documentation, they need, composition or compatibility sheets for which devices are compatible, which are not. Lots of training in here, things like that. So hopefully this has been helpful for you. We've really taken a lot of pride in the dealer portal that we've built. We've really worked hard to make sure that the content we've created for you is effective. And we want your feedback. If you're in there and you see something that doesn't quite work for you, let us know. If you want to collaborate on something, send us an email, marketing@qolsys.com. We'd love to help you out. Our goal is to make you look good. And hopefully throughout all of this, all of these webinar series, you found a few things that are going to be very helpful for you as you take these amazing technologically advanced solutions and you go out and deploy them. Now, we do have a follow-up survey that's going to go right after this webinar. So as as we depart today, please take a second to fill that out. We're also going to send you a follow-up email tomorrow with all of the with a link to this recording in our webinar recordings playlist on YouTube, as well as a way to contact us if you need us and things like that. Our goal is to really support you, as you go out. So please let us know how we can do it. Steve, cheers back to you. Thank you very much for joining today. Narcissus, thanks very much. She says, I found uk.com/support. Oh, yeah, you can absolutely use anything you want on uk.qolsys.com. And if you guys have not seen the uk.qolsys.com website, you can absolutely use anything you want off of this. This is where we're putting stuff that's specific to the UK. But we'll have our sales team also reach out to you and things like that as you need it. But you've got support in here. There's some support documents already built specifically for you. Oh, look, SalesFlix. There's some SalesFlix for you right there that are already customized to your feature set, specifications, a white paper, user guide, things like that. And more will be added to that as we continue to build stuff. But I know we're over time. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope it's been effective. Our sales team is going to reach out to you and help answer any questions. And if you want a personal webinar, personally for you to kind of go through your scenario where you can ask questions and we can talk to you and interact with you, things like that, let us know. Our sales team will reach out and set those up, and we'll help you understand not just generically how all this stuff works, but how it works specifically for your scenario. That's the next step in helping you get to market. And of course, IQ Panel is available for purchase along with Power G sensors at your local distributor. So please go check them out and make a purchase. Thank you everyone for joining today, and we'll see you next time.